Golf Channel's exclusive coverage of the LPGA Tour is presented by Prudential.
Championship Sunday in Portland, Oregon for the LPGA Tour and the Cambia Portland Classic. Columbia Edgewater Country Club seeing the best conditions of the week. Will we see a breakthrough victory for 17-year-old Brooke Henderson, seeking to be the third player in Tour history to win before the age of 18, joining Lydia and Lexi? Early highlights. Whit Watson, Judy Rankin with you. Here is Henderson to save par at the fourth.
She's made some good little putts this week, not off to the fast start that she was off to yesterday.
Made 4 straight pars with par saving efforts like that. Then at 5, this is the par 5.
Big high shot right at the center of the green.
Morgan Pressel and Sandra Gall, her playing competitors. Pressel at the 5th had pushed her second shot well right. Got a little bit of a break when it pinged off a member of the gallery. Bounced back to here. This was her third. So a fortuitous bounce for Morgan Pressel, who goes back-to-back with birdies at 4 and 5. Henderson also made the birdie at 5 with 2 putts, so her lead remains 5 shots, as it was when the day began. Caroline Masson is 6 back. There is Allison Lee. She is now 7 back. Defending champion Austin Ernst has made a run 4 under on her front 9 today, but she is 7 shots off the pace. As we check the leaderboard here at the Cambia Portland Classic, Yanni Sen 5 under through 13. One of the best rounds going on the golf course today. The young American, Amy Anderson, Moe Martin. These are players perhaps looking ahead towards getting a spot on the U.S. Solheim Cup team. Lisa Ferrero and a host of players at -10 at the Cambia Portland Classic. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Portland, Oregon, final round coverage of the Cambia Portland Classic. The City of Roses, a part of this tour since 1972. It is the only time we'll be in Oregon this year. Just minutes away from the Columbia River, which was dead calm today, like glass this morning on the drive in. Pristine conditions at the Columbia Edgewater Country Club track. Par 72, just over 6,400 yards, and a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky, very little wind, comfortable temperatures in the 70s. Really, it's the best looking day we've had all week long. Will the players take advantage of it? That's the question here on Championship Sunday. Whit Watson, Judy Rankin with you. Tom Abbott with Jerry Foltz, Kay Cockrell, and Nicole Castrale joining us in the Pacific Northwest here for our final round coverage. Let's head over to 7 and Tom Abbott. I think they're gone.
Well, thank you, Whit. The final group on the tee at the par 5, which is a reachable hole, and Morgan Pressel will be first to play.
After a bit of a lengthy wait, Tom. A little bit of breeze picking up, mostly in and from the left, but still reachable for so many players in the field. Morgan not all that thrilled about her ball striking, and she's had her coach Ron Stockton here all week, but she's getting it done on the green. She's made 18 birdies in the last 2 days, not counting today. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, her better ball score would be 58 for the last 2 rounds. That's not too bad, is it?
Little draw starting up the right edge. Might be turning enough.
Yeah, that's going to be okay. And now Brooke Henderson.
This tee shot fits her typical shot so very well. That low, old school type little draw, sets up just a little close with the lower body and hits that little 2, 3, 4 yard draw. Second in greens in regulation coming into this week, and a fantastic putter. No surprise she was, well, I guess it is a little surprise. She's 17. She was leading by 5. Plenty of distance when turning at the left edge.
Well, let's meet this final group.
Hi, my name is Sandra Gall. I'm from Germany, and I went to the University of Florida.
Hi, I'm Morgan Pressel from Boca Raton, Florida, and I have 2 career LPGA victories.
Hi, I'm Brooke Henderson from Smith Falls, Ontario, and I'm 17 years old.
And here is the final member, Sandra Gall. As she said, she went to the University of Florida, qualified for the LPGA Tour while she was still a Gator.
That one's also left center. Going to be just fine.
So 3 balls in the fairway at the 7th, and while we have a moment, let's join Whit and Judy.
Tom, thank you, and welcome into our final round coverage here in Portland. The last time a Canadian player won on the LPGA Tour over a decade ago, 2001, Lori Kane. Even beyond that, what Brooke Henderson could do today is something very, very difficult indeed, regardless of country or tour, and that is win, A, for the first time, and B, as a teenager on the LPGA Tour.
Yeah, and without full status on the LPGA Tour, she has played this entire season under a great deal of pressure, trying to make enough money, trying to win a golf tournament, anything that would let her avoid Q School coming up later in the year. And it seems as though she has achieved that. She hasn't achieved the win, but her chances are very good today. Just a few numbers that back up that this player should be on the LPGA Tour and very well qualified to win a golf tournament. This is her 9th start of the year. She has had 14 rounds in the 60s this year, and yesterday was the 3rd time the 17-year-old has shot 65. She is such a quality player, and she plays with so much heart. I just think she's going to be a great addition to the LPGA Tour, whether it comes from a win today or whether it comes from money earned this year.
This week was also the 3rd time she held a 36-hole lead, which was the case after Friday's 2nd round. One of those weeks was in San Francisco at the Swinging Skirts. In the final round, she played alongside Morgan Pressel, who was with her in the final group today, a player that Henderson says she idolized. They're 10 years apart in age. On that day, Henderson shot 74 at Lake Merced in San Francisco. How likely do you think that kind of a round is today?
I think it's extremely unlikely. In her words in the press room, she has grown up a lot and matured a lot with golf since April. Now, that doesn't seem like such a very long time, but when you're playing a lot of rounds of golf and you're playing a lot of weeks of the month, that can be a very long stretch. And when she comes in with so much talent, the only thing really left is to gain experience and to gain the knowledge for how to get the job done, regardless of 17 years old or 27 years old. Winning for the first time is tough.
And winning for the next time is also tough, as Morgan Pressel can attest. It's been quite a while, 7 years as a matter of fact, since she won on the LPGA Tour, very much in contention with a good round. And it was Sandra Gall who put herself in this spot with 65 yesterday. So there's a lot to pay attention to in this final group here on Sunday. Take you back out to the golf course. There is Pressel as these players look at the par 5 with that graphic, Tom. It was in Hawaii in 2008, the last time she won.
Yes, just a year after her victory at the ANA Inspiration. But since then, she's had some chances, but hasn't been able to get that 3rd victory on the LPGA.
At 14, Yani Sen, 5 under on the day, but she found trouble here at this par 4. This is for par now, trying to stay 11 under.
There certainly are some little hints that Yani Sen is rebuilding her golf game and maybe going to get back to the form that she was in when she was a very dominant player in the world.
Also a player that hasn't won for a long time. Through 2012 was Sen's last victory. Brooke Henderson, 5-shot lead here in the final round. A hand-operated scoreboard here at Columbia Edgewater Country Club. Special thanks to Tom Miletus and Rob Neal, two men instrumental in the operation of this event every single year here in Portland. Back to 7.
Yeah, certainly echo those sentiments. It's a really good week this, and full credit to everybody involved. And Mark and his team from Cambia, who are passionate about this event, passionate about the city of Portland, and golf much better for it here in the Portland area. Now, Morgan Pressel with her second to the par 5.
209 front, 231 hole. Little breeze in right now. I don't think she can get this all the way back to hole high, but you never know. And hole high would be the goal. You can't go left to this hole location. This was tattooed at the right edge. That's not bad at all.
We'll go ahead to the 8th.
This is at the 8th. Allison Lee. Nicole is with this group.
Allison found the water right off the tee, which was a major unforced error, considering she was... The ball's got to sit. She was coming off 3 straight birdies going into this hole.
She's got that left for bogey coming back. That is a major mistake as we go back to 7.
And the second shot for Sandra Gall.
Perfectly flat lie, which is rare on this hole. 198 front, 220 to the hole. It's also at the right edge, actually right bunker, it appears.
Yep, it's going to find the sand. Well, I suppose it's better to be that far right than that far left, because it's out of bounds over there. Still, she wasn't. She'd rather been right down the middle. Now, Brooke Henderson, I guess Jerry could just play it safe, or if she really wants to go for it, she'd have to turn it around the tree.
Yeah, she would. That fits her natural eye, but it's a downhill, sidehill lie. Both indicate the ball going right, so she'd really have to give it a lot, and that's risky. You overcook it, and you know what's left. I think center of the green would be ideal here. 215 to the hole. She showed a lot of aggressiveness and zero fear yesterday.
Yeah, I got a sneaky feeling she's just going to go right at it and try and turn it in there.
I'd take a special shot off of this lie.
Oh, there you go.
Right center of the green. Very good contact. All she could have asked for from there.
Well, she's had chances to win earlier in the season. Hasn't managed to win, but has learned a lot, and she's showing it this week. Let's go to 14.
Yani Sen for bogey. Minimize the damage. Second bogey of the day. 6 birdies. Just having a hard time avoiding those mistakes. Let's see if Allison Lee can make a bogey back at 8.
This is a pretty quick putt.
Boy, Nicole, I know it's a testy hole location, but that was a huge mistake, as you said.
Henderson with a 5-shot advantage here as they play the 7th. Morgan Pressel minus 14. Those two playing together. Allison Lee dropping at least 2 at the 8th hole. Today's coverage is brought to you by Cambia Health Solutions and by the new Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Make a difference in your game.
Back at the 7th, and this is the 3rd shot of the par 5 by Sandra Gall. Quite a lot of green to work with here, Judy.
Yeah, good lie. Because of that distance, she probably won't open that blade nearly so far. Needs to carry the ball farther and let it release, and that looks like she really did a good job.
See how quick that green is there. Let's go to the tee at the 8th.
Caroline Masson with a couple of birdies on her card and 1 bogey today.
And missed a 6-footer for birdie the last hole that irritated her. This a 9-iron needs to get up. Oh my goodness, that water comes into play very easily. She escaped it, but it's going to be a tough up and down.
I have no clue how that stayed up. Look at that. She better get up there quick. Back to 7.
And a long eagle try by Morgan Pressel.
Very long. She'd take a tap in a heartbeat from here, and she'd watch Sandra Gall's bunker shot just continue to roll on past the hole, because it does slope away just past it. That was always the risk buddy from there. That hobbled early and cost her a ton of speed from that distance.
Well, it's not often you see these sort of players make a mistake like that. That was about halfway now at the 15th. Second shot for Yani Sen.
Hole tipped on the left side of the green. Not a long shot in.
Yani at 4 under for the round, coming off that bogey. The best round of the day, 5 under par. There are a few players who are at 5 under for the day. Back over to the 7th, and Brooke Henderson has a decent chance for an eagle, but as we've seen, Jerry, because of the way the green slopes away behind the hole, not always easy to judge as the gallery watches on.
No, it's the hole's placed almost on the top of a mound, because this is gently uphill all the way to the hole and then gently downhill just past it. Her touch has been impeccable this week, as pretty much every aspect of her game, and especially the thing I've been most impressed with, Judy, the mental side of things.
Yeah, she is. She's a 17-year-old girl with a young woman's golf maturity. She's emotionally mature playing. She works herself around the golf course extremely well. She's got a caddy that caddies for a lot, but make no mistake, she makes a lot of decisions herself.
That's going to get there.
And that's going to trundle on as well. No, still, that's for a birdie. And that would be to get her to 20 under par.
Back to the 8th, you see that Masson very lucky to be dry here at the par 3.
You can say that again, Whit. She is literally 4 inches from the very steep part, and that her ball would have ended up in the water. See if she can take advantage of that break and get this up and in. Beautiful touch.
Masson looking ahead towards the possibility of playing a Solheim Cup in her native Germany. She is hoping to create a compelling case for herself this year as we go back to the 7th.
Morgan Pressel will be on that US team, which will be finalized in just over 7 days after next week's Canadian Pacific Women's Open. Now this for a birdie.
Even though it's still the front 9, these are big putts, especially when you're almost assured of a much shorter effort for birdie. Don't want to leave this hole with par. And that putt just doesn't turn.
Got a great look at her grip there, Judy. Usually when you're gripping like that, you have a bigger grip. She grips it with a conventional grip.
It's what I have come to call anyway an even-handed grip. It's not left-hand low, it's not conventional, but very even-handed.
Alison Lee, second to the 9th.
She had 148 coming off a disappointing double bogey.
Yeah, and she played so well, Nicole, earlier in the round. That's going to knock her back a little bit, back to 11 under, but still a chance for a birdie there at the 9th.
Course setup is presented by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. Arthur McCon designed the golf course in 1925, but several redesigns over the years, including Robert Graves, Bob Cupp, Arthur Hills have all done work on it. Bluegrass in the fairways, Poe on the greens. Very quick greens this week. It's been relatively dry. Did have some rain on Friday, but for the most part, they'll be speedy today on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not sure the 11.5 is accurate. They certainly seem to be rolling at least 12.
You're only about 14 on the way past that hole, certainly for Sandra Gall and Brooke Henderson. Now Gall coming back the other way, so assuming this is a little bit uphill, Jerry?
Yeah, it just initially until the hole, of course, and it slopes away. These greens are 11.5 uphill, Judy. They are really, really slick.
Does the step meter work uphill? I'm not sure.
This one turning just gently to the right, not much though. You could just about take a nap at the back of her backstroke. And then it's repetitive every time. Oh, good putt.
Wonderful up and down.
Moves Sandra to 13 under. 6 back. Let's go ahead to the 15th, and Iani Sen for a birdie. Very good try from Iani, as you mentioned, Judy, starting to show some form that we've seen from her in the past. Great run she had in major championships. 2012 was her last victory at the Kia Classic. As we go back over to Brooke Henderson for the birdie at 7.
Birdie that will delight the rather sizable crowd on hand following just this one group, the lion's share of it. The one person missing, Tom, is her sister Brittany. Rumor has it she is practicing or playing over on the par 3 course here at Columbia Edgewater, either too nervous to watch or just getting in a little work.
Good birdie. Yes, her sister Brittany was in the field here but missed the cut. There was a sponsor invite. Sometimes she comes out and caddies for Brooke, but she is obviously enjoying some of the other delights of Columbia Edgewater, including that lovely little par 3 course, which is left of the first hole. And you can see there on the scoreboard that we showed you, it said BRO, Bro Henderson. Well, the reason for that is, of course, that Brittany Henderson was in the field, so we can't say BR Henderson or B Henderson, because there'd be 2 of them. Now, Pressel for a par.
Not much to it, but it's a little outside the automatic length. Not for a putter like her. She makes almost every one of these.
Well, she'll be disappointed not to make a birdie there. But Morgan Pressel chasing the young Canadian Brooke Henderson, who has a 6-shot lead here at the Cambia Portland Classic.
Brooke Henderson's lead now out to 6 shots as she stands on the tee at the shortest par 3 on the golf course.
8-iron in her hands, 143 yards, and if she takes it at this whole location, she is uber aggressive. Has to be left of it.
She wasn't looking too far left, but I think she hit it there, Judy.
Yeah, it's 20 feet, 25 feet.
Yeah.
That's ideal under this situation.
This is a 9th, and Alison Lee for a birdie.
Pretty straightforward uphill putt.
Boy, that'll make her feel better.
Absolutely.
Nice rebound. 4 birdies in the last 5 holes. The problem is she had a double bogey at the 8th. And we'll go back over to the 8th.
And Gall.
The signal from Sean Clues was a 6-iron. That's not right. I'm assuming he meant 9-iron. It looks like it. Nonetheless, a very high ball flight. Should have no trouble setting down once it lands. This is a very aggressive line. Right of the hole. Oh, barely over the hazard.
Easy. 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 Oh.
Did not hang on, Jerry.
Yeah, it might still be hittable. I didn't see it go into the water, but it's definitely in the hazard.
It went into the water. I mean, I can't say that it might not be playable, but it went into the water. And that's why I'm kind of referring to Brooke. She's smart, like a player that's, you know, very experienced, because she didn't exactly love the shot she hit, but she knew where to miss it.
Right. She did take an aggressive line, but the bailout was safe, put it that way. Pressel now.
started at the stick, moving a little left.
Okay. It is very difficult for good players and players who are playing well to play away from the flagstick. It's like draws you in.
Austin Ernst, defending champion here. This is for birdie at 12. Well, hello. That's her 6th birdie of the day. Look at Austin Ernst rocketing up this leaderboard now. She began the day 17th. She's now tied for 3rd. 5 under on her round right now, but still 7 shots behind our leader. As we head back out to the 8th to see what Sandra Gall has decided.
Well, she decided to go back to the drop zone. Ball was unplayable in the water. I don't think she could have gotten it out, but she took a drop in the drop zone, and I believe the ball bounced and rolled outside the drop zone. I pride myself in knowing the rules pretty good, but I don't know what you do here, Judy.
I don't either, but I don't know that I've ever seen anyone play the ball from outside a drop zone.
Pointing on Patlum at the 10th while we wait on that at 8. This is for birdie, trying to get to 12 under.
Good putt.
Boy, dead center. No kidding.
Talked to her this morning about her brother because we had so much entertainment when her brother caddied for her. But
yes.
He's in Thailand. He is not playing golf per se, but is managing a company.
9.
Caroline Masson has a long birdie try at this par 4. Okay.
She does. Pretty statistically low percentage of making this. But to follow up, Tom, with what Whit said about Caroline trying to make the team, she's right behind Carlota Ciganda and Karini Shea in the world ranking points. And already Nordquist, Munoz, Gall, and Matthew, if it ended now, they would get those 4 world ranking spots. She's got this week and next.
She's certainly going to move up. If she maintains her position, she's going to move up nicely in the world rankings. Let's go over to 8.
Sandra's going to wait on the ruling, so Morgan Pressel for birdie.
This one pretty fast as well. Well, it needs to sit down. You can see how baked out that is around the hole.
Smooth greens, beautiful greens. Every interview that you read, the players talk about how much they love this golf course.
Pressel saying she did some tweaks to her putting. She and her instructor, Ron Stockton, figured out that she was lining up a little bit open and then cutting across the ball. So she went and worked on her alignment and thinks she got something figured out.
Yeah, we'll get back to that in just a minute, but here's Hannah Zhang.
Another bright young player, one of the solid players of a strong rookie class this year on LPGA Tour. She's already had 5 top 10 finishes.
Long ball hit her off the tee. Not so accurate this week, but she has really made some putts.
And again, while Gall waits on a ruling, it'll be Henderson putting.
This one doesn't look quite as frighteningly fast as Morgan. Still quick, but this is not as much slope from hole high as there was from behind it. Excellent speed.
Make sure you tell everybody on TV you lost money. I said, Fulty, you just make sure you tell them on TV you owe me money.
Go to the 13th tee in Austin Ernst.
Well, you can never tell if she continues to light it up today, if she lights it up next week. She could be a Solheim Cup player. 156 yards here, and the hole deep in the green.
Oh, no. Well, that's the one thing she couldn't do, and that's going to be costly. Back to 8.
Now Gall's third.
Ball was indeed in play. Could roll up to 2 club lengths as long as it landed in the circle. That was such a tough angle to get it close, though. That's a tough putt for bogey.
It's going to be kind of an uncomfortable thing for Gall. She's not the quickest player anyway, and she's got to kind of hustle up there and try to make a bogey putt now as we go over to 16. Yanni Sen to get to 11 under. 2012 Kia Classic, the last time she won on the LPGA Tour.
She has always had a good putting stroke, always.
Over at 10, the par 5, Allison Lee ready with her third.
She's got 103, little backstop behind it.
Let's see if it'll use that backstop. Come back. Come on back. Yeah, there you go.
Excellent.
It's the way you got to play it at the 10th, the par 5. Allison Lee, 8 shots back, 2 under on her round today. Who is going to mount a charge at Brooke Henderson? They keep advancing, and then there's a mistake here or there. It's still a 6-shot lead. A moment ago at the 8th, this was Gall for her bogey.
Very, very speedy, not much break.
Very costly. Came up short off the tee. It's a double for Gall. Pressel also a moment ago for par.
Ran on nearly 6 feet past.
Oh
no. So Brooke Henderson has a 7-shot lead as she stands on the 9th tee.
A difficult driving hole at that. Really pinches in around the fairway bunker. Trees left are big trouble. Trees right, you can maybe salvage par out of it. She's not seeing any of that. Staying aggressive with the driver.
Totally
Fairway.
straight away makes it a little tougher, doesn't it, Jerry?
Yeah, those are always toughest. Well, that one you can just bomb it straight away.
Some impressive 4 days of golf so far.
Take a look at our pinpoint technology presented by Golf Zone on this 9th hole, the par 4, 410 yards on the card. And today 402 with the hole and tee locations. To avoid that bunker, there's a road that runs across there, short of the bunker on the left, and a couple of green side bunkers. Now Morgan Pressel not going with the driver.
No, I don't think she's overly confident in it right now. Starts that up the right, trying to turn it. It didn't turn. That makes you mad when you lay back and miss the fairway.
Sandra Gall. What's she going to go with?
Driver. I've never seen Sandra in a bad mood on the golf course. Walking off that green, she was not happy, understandably.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's 9 shots back now. The chance to win is really slipping away. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's low and left, although it is fading a little.
It just had enough fade on it, didn't it?
That wasn't intentional, I'm pretty darn sure.
It just kind of scooted by the limbs and managed to go back in the fairway.
Low and left would not be her signature shot.
No.
Allison Lee for a birdie at 10.
She's a very good putter. She's been compared to Christy Kerr, who'd she'd like to be her Solheim Cup teammate.
Oh, get there. Just barely falls over the edge, and Allison Lee has fought back. Made a double at 8, now back-to-back birdies at 9 and 10. Question is, does anybody have enough real estate left to catch Henderson?
Austin Ernst has taken a drop at the 13th, having gone in the water, and this is now her third shot. We showed you earlier in the show that Alison Lee could move to 31st in the world. And let's go through the tournament summary. 54-hole leader Brooke Henderson seeking to become the first Canadian to win on the LPGA Tour since 2001. That was Laurie Kane at Takafuji. Laurel Keane was the last Monday qualifier to win on the LPGA. That was back in 2000. She is the only Monday qualifier to date to win an LPGA event. That might change today. Pressel trying to win for the first time since 2008. Looking unlikely at the moment. She's 7 shots back. And finally, Alison Lee could move to 31st with a solo third. That would put her inside the mark to qualify with 1 week to go. She could move higher if she finishes better than solo third. So it's going to be pretty interesting next week at the Canadian Pacific Women's Open as the race to the Solheim Cup concludes. Portland Classic with her second to the 11th. She's not worried about the Solheim Cup. Team competition for someone like Portland Classic would be the International Crown, which will be played in Chicago next year.
Speaking of the Solheim Cup, Europe looking for a three-peat in this competition. The 2015 Solheim Cup is coming in September, the 18th through the 20th. You can see it, of course, from Germany on Golf Channel. Henderson up by 7. 4 players tied for second, including Alison Lee. As Tom just mentioned, solo third or better puts her very much in the conversation for the Solheim Cup heading into Vancouver next week. Morgan Pressel, Austin Ernst also at 13 under. Caroline Masson, one of those players with one eye towards Germany. Yani Sen 5 under on her round today. Hannah Zhang struggling a bit. She's at +10. Stacey Lewis is 2 under today, 8 under for the week.
It's too early to say that it's just a battle for second place, but we're not a long way from saying that.
We're not there yet, but we can see it from here?
I think so.
Morgan Pressel can't see that much of the ball here in the rough. Jerry, it doesn't look like a great lie.
I've seen worse. It's gettable with a 7-iron. Switch to the 8, expecting this to jump. She can get on the back of the ball somewhat cleanly. It's just a little wispy around it, but it is sitting down. 173 yards to the hole, so she needs it to jump, even with her new added length with the irons. 162 to the front. Oh, she got a lot of that on a very direct line. Oh, bad bounce, though.
Good opportunity, though, Jerry.
Yep.
It's a correct decision to switch to the 8. Now, Sandra Gall over on the left side, and lucky to be in the fairway after that drive.
149 yards, playing very quickly. Was ready very quickly. Slight downhill lie, not too bad. A little breeze from the left, maybe helping a hair, but it's really light right now, and she can't feel it at all right up against the trees left of this fairway. Center of the green.
Hit pretty hard.
They all are, unless you have a wedge or 9-iron in your hand. It is bouncing.
Austin Ernst for a bogey now at the 13th. So that's going to be a double bogey for Austin. It'll drop her back to 11 under par. It leaves 3 players at 13 under. Brooke Henderson now with her second to the 9th.
not stepping away for the jet at all. 141 yards the hole and an 8-iron, smooth one. I'm pretty sure she didn't even hear that jet.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Right
she didn't even know it was happening.
Wonderful shot. A little unfortunate that ran by. Still a good chance for a birdie. So Henderson trying to get to 21 under par, the lowest score for 4 rounds here at Columbia Edgewater. 20 under Suzanne Pedersen a few years ago. Henderson in great shape. Back at the 11th hole, born along Patlam for a birdie. There's never won on the LPGA Portland. She does have a couple of wins on the Ladies European Tour. She won in India in 2012 and in Dubai in 2013. It's her 6th year playing on the LPGA. So we go back over to the 9th hole, and Sandra Gall taking a look at this birdie putt.
I'm taking a pretty good look, surveying it from the side to get a feel for how much downhill it is, and it is downhill, gently to the hole the entire way, so going to be quite speedy yet again. Not a ton of break, though.
She has this unique putting stroke that has a hesitation at the back of the stroke when there is the change of directions, and it's quite noticeable on a long stroke.
Her swing used to do the exact same thing until she shortened the backswing about a good foot in the last couple years.
Well, it looked pretty good, but now, unfortunately, it's still rolling away. She's going to have that left for a par, so it could be a really bad finish to the front 9 for Sandra Gall. You can see she putted pretty well in round 3, not great on Friday. Already today she's had 14 putts. Now Brooke Henderson will be ready to go here momentarily, just working on the line.
I think we're getting treated to something pretty special today here, Judy, Tom, Whit. This is, I think time tells us that the great players start the final round with a comfortable lead, and they go out with a single-minded focus to increase it. We saw it with Tiger in his career, winning by 12 and 15 in majors. Others go out and maybe play a little defensively and try and protect. She is just firing and firing and firing at every chance she gets.
I think she's been saying all the right things, that she's excited to be in this position, that she's learned a lot from previous experiences. There's been a lot of positive talk. Doesn't seem to be any anxiety, and it will show. She led by 2 after the second round in San Francisco. She took the lead into the final day, leading by 1, but shot 74 in the final round. She was very close to getting into the playoff there. Missed it by a shot, but here is a different situation altogether. She's just running away with it at the moment. Let's go to the 14th.
And Austin Ernst ready for her second. She's coming off a double at 13. But she has 6 birdies on the card today. 6 birdies, 1 bogey, and a double. She's 3 under for the day. Let's catch up with Caroline Masson. Been kind of quiet today. This is for birdie.
This hole's been a bit of a struggle. She pulled it off with her driver off of a tree, had to punch it out, had a pretty long shot in, and is up on the very top part of the screen on the right, so has a tricky long putt, right to left break, speedy, and still has her work cut out to make a par 5.
Kind of plodding along at 1 under today. 2 birdies and a bogey. We go back to 9.
And Morgan Pressel for a birdie.
A putt that looked pretty
today. 2 birdies and a bogey. We go back to 9.
And Morgan Pressel for a birdie.
A putt that looked pretty straight to me initially.
drift away. That was a moment ago, so no birdie for Pressel. She will complete the front 9 in 36. Sandra Gahl now for a par.
A little back uphill. Should move right early, not much.
For Sandra Gahl, but the mistake at the 8th really hurting her, out in 37, 1 over par. Brooke Henderson now has an 8-shot lead in the Cambia Portland Classic, running away with it here in Portland.
Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour pleased to welcome you to the Pacific Northwest on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Portland, the Cambia Portland Classic. Live final round coverage and maybe history in the making today. Brooke Henderson, the 17-year-old, not a member of the LPGA Tour. This was for birdie at the 7th. Second birdie of the day. It came at that reachable par 5, the 7th. 2-putt birdie there, and then a moment ago at 9, long par 4. She has kept her foot on the gas. Began the day with a 5-stroke advantage and has not let up. 3 birdies on the way out as the final threesome heads to the 10th tee. Brooke Henderson 21 under par. Allison Lee fighting back. Made a double at 8, back-to-back birdies at 9 and 10. She's 13 under par. Yanni Sen with a good day, 4 under par. She's at 10 under. Glad you could join us on this Sunday afternoon. Championship Sunday on Golf Channel. Whit Watson, Judy Rankin, and Tom Abbott. Jerry Foltz, Kay Cockrell, and Nicole Castrale joining us out on the golf course. Great day for a walk along the Columbia River. Allison Lee trying to save par at the 11th, and Nicole with this group.
Allison found deep tree troubles off the tee, so this is the save for par. One of the rare misses by Allison.
Yeah, she had everything right, but just drove it through the break.
First par since the 4th hole.
Last group on the tee at 10, Henderson.
Sticking with driver. This one turning over pretty quickly, though. Left side, left edge.
Up at the green at 10, this is Masson to save par.
Yeah, healthy 5-footer. Whit, that's her first 3-putt of the week. Not a good time to have one.
No, okay, and kind of a wishful stroke, too. Puts her 9 shots off the lead. Ernst to get to 12 under.
That's a great bounce back after the double bogey at the par 3 13th.
She's been a birdie machine. 7 of them now on the day, but gave 3 back. Back at the 10th, our pinpoint technology is presented by Golf Zone. This is the par 5. All 3 of these players favoring the left side of the fairway. Henderson generally has been the longer player in her group this week, regardless of who she's playing with. Pressel just off the fairway.
Tee shot a little bit off the toe, hooked very quickly into the rough. Going with a hybrid out of here, just a layup shot. She has 258 all the way to the hole into a breeze.
Water short and right of this green, if you can't clearly see that on your screen at home.
Yeah, that was an iron, it looks like. Anyway, nonetheless, it's in good shape.
Well, Sandra Gall began the day at 12 under par.
Also just trying to pick out a comfortable number to leave to that hole location. It's very accessible, even though it's on the front left with a backstop behind it and into the breeze. Some kind of medium wedge in would be ideal, but another one that starts to the left and fading.
You know, Jerry pointed out that the true winners keep their foot on the pedal when they have a chance to win. Judy, I'd add to that at the age of 17, Henderson really has shown us that she only knows one speed. She's been a naturally aggressive player, and so far the game plan really hasn't changed.
It is, yeah. See if we can hear her here for just a minute, but.
Yeah, no problem.
Right
changing.
Bunker.
Should be a little bit of hurt every year right here.
But what I'd like to say about her is she has such a wonderful demeanor. She doesn't get too up. She doesn't get too down while she's playing. She's a wonderful sort of concentrator on the golf course. She has good management skills, but she's also got a little feisty fight in her. And it is that thing that I think is making her stand out.
And the head cover is off, Jerry.
Not surprising after doing the same exact thing yesterday. 243 hole, 227 front. Anything left of the water is good, and this is left side of the fairway.
It's going to need a little bit of a kind of classy flop shot, Jerry.
Yeah, it's well, I'm just not surprised she tried it. The bunker would have been ideal, and she's not going to make bogey from there, that's for sure.
Well, she could hit a spinner and bring it back off that backstop, but we'll see.
Give you an idea of what Henderson has done in her last 7 starts. This is on both the LPGA Tour and the Symetra Tour. She won on the Symetra Tour back in June. That was right after she had missed the cut, or rather top 10, I apologize, top 5, as a matter of fact, at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Also a top 5 at the U.S. Women's Open. She just did make the cut at the Rico Women's British Open.
That was, pretty much a new experience, and I think the tale of that is she plays really difficult golf courses well.
At the 11th hole, this is Caroline Masson.
Drove it beautifully with the hybrid. Stayed a little bit short of the downslope, so she has a nice level lie. Able to come in with a wedge from 124 yards. A little bit of breeze is just gently helping. Not going to be too pleased with that shot.
I think with the way that Brooke Henderson has played over the course of the season, you look at the likes of In Ji Chun winning the US Women's Open and Jin Young Ko contending at the Rico Women's British Open. Maybe it's time to have a top 50 in the world exemption for the LPGA Tour each week, so best players can all compete.
Pornanong Patlum at the 12th, the par 5. Kind of a wonky sound to it, but it's not a bad shot.
Wonky?
Wonky.
Are you familiar with that sound?
I know it quite well, Judy. I know what a poorly struck chip shot sounds like.
Okay? And it's a little bit of a ball off the right as well.
Pressel at 10.
97 yards. We get into a little breeze from the right. Rock told her anything past it and a little right of it's going to feed straight back down toward the hole. Certainly don't want to get it well past and up on that top ledge. That's not going to be the case here. This could be pretty good.
Judy, that is not wonky. That's exactly what it's supposed to sound like.
Yeah, and a little bit caddy knows best. Boy, did he give her exactly the right stuff. Lots of times caddies, and particularly when their players have a lot at stake, will take a walk around the golf course before the round, and they can tell their player every hump and bump.
See what Gall can dial up.
93 yards. One of her two, I call them in-between wedges, gap wedges, not a pitching wedge, not a lob wedge. This looks to have plenty of spin on it.
To 15.
Second shot for Austin Ernst. Well, she likes this golf course. Shot 63 here before. She won here last year, of course, and now inside the top 5 once again.
Patlam for her birdie at the 12th. You can see at the 10th that Brooke Henderson walked all the way up to the green as she surveyed her third shot.
She did, and is going to wait for her fellow competitors to mark their golf balls in case hers is coming back down the slope, which is really the only chance to get it close from here. First cut of rough side hill lie, 41 yards.
Backstop there.
So she is far enough back then to put a little spin on the shot.
A little bit, but it's not going to dance like Sandra's golf ball did from 90-something yards. What great execution this is, Judy.
It's just been beautiful to watch. There have been so few mistakes over 4 days.
Henderson, that for yet another birdie here at the Cambia Portland Classic. Back at the 10th, and Henderson for another birdie.
Moving a little bit right, pretty fast.
Just burns the edge. Would have been her 4th of the day. She'll stay at 21 under par. 15.
Austin Ernst for a birdie. This is to get to 13 under par into a tie for second. And this would be her 4th birdie on the back 9. She's 5 under for the round with a double bogey and a bogey. So it's really been some pretty good golf from Austin Ernst, minus those 2 mistakes.
She has 5 pars and 15 holes. Pressel for birdie at 10.
Moving maybe just a hair to the right. Ooh, not at that speed.
Caroline Masson for a par at the 11th. Keeps her at 12 under par. A very important week for Caroline Masson, trying to climb up those world rankings. Back over to 10.
See if Gall can make birdie at this par 5.
Trying to claw her way back into a chance at what appears to be only second place right now. This one a little speedy as well.
Three very good chances, and Snake eyes. Yanni Sen found the water at the 18th, had this for a bogey. And that's an unfortunate turn for Yanni Sen. As you mentioned, Judy, she's had flashes this week of some old form.
Yeah, she used to go low and then just kept going lower. And now when she gets low, she gets a little bit edgy.
All along, Patlam on the tee at the 13th.
156, her signature colored golf ball.
And not able to get the ball stopped. The golf course quite firm and fast. They've had record high temperatures here recently, a run of days in the 90s, although we've had one cool day when it rained on Friday. It's been very warm this week.
Pressel gingerly with the par putt at 10. She will remain 13 under and even for her round today. She has 2 bogeys, 2 birdies. Those came back-to-back at 4 and 5 as we go to 13.
Rafaela Munoz is 2 under on the day's round. 11 under par, good enough for a tie for 8th alongside Moe Martin, who's having a decent week here, and J. Marie Green, who shot 63 yesterday. She is 2 under for the day and at 11 under. Hapara, one of the players that will fly the flag for Europe in the Solheim Cup. And there's a rumor that Spain could make a push for the Solheim Cup in 2019.
Valderrama, maybe?
Wouldn't that be nice, Judy? Valderrama in the autumn. I might even cook you a meal at my place down there. Probably take you for dinner, though.
That'll play a big part in them choosing.
Absolutely. Rafaela Munoz, 23rd in the world. She's going to make the team. Right now, it's pretty tight there. Katrina Matthew withdrawing because of illness here. Carlota Segunda has made the cut and is going along okay, so she may climb up inside the qualification mark. Caroline Masson having a good week. There will be 4 players from the Rolex rankings that will be confirmed at the end of next week's event, and then Karen Koch will finish off the team with 4 captains' selections. So a lot more work to be done on the European side in terms of choosing players, but I'm sure they'll be able to handle it. Brooke Henderson on the tee at the 11th.
She has fought this shot a little bit this week. She has played from the left tree. She has played from the right rough. And I'm assuming as quickly as she picked that tee up, no trouble.
And that is going to trundle all the way down, hopefully to a flattish lie. Now let's go up to the 12th.
Allison's coming off a bogey at the last. She hasn't made a par since the 4th hole, so it'll be interesting to see if she keeps that streak coming.
Boy, days like that tire you out, don't they, Nicole?
Absolutely, but she's a good putter, so there's a chance this may go in as well. Never really had a chance.
Well, the speed of the greens, if you get up above the hole, is really starting to get some people's attention.
Here's the card that Allison just referred, that Nicole just referred to for Allison Lee. Birdies at 5, 6, and 7, double at 8, birdie at 9, birdie at 10. Roller coaster. Allison Lee, if she moves into a solo 3rd or better, could potentially knock Paula Creamer out. This is the list of top Americans not already qualified for the Solheim Cup based on points. You then go to the Rolex rankings. Point of this is that Lee is making a case for herself for a first ever inclusion on the Solheim Cup roster. They've got next week's event in Vancouver still to play.
And she'd made that name for herself in this single season, not a 2-year run.
Joanna Clatton, this for birdie at the 18th.
Won't be as good as yesterday when she made 2 at 18.
The round of 68 for Clatton. Well, Judy, it's funny you mentioned that because yesterday, this was the scene at the 18th. She was making the turn. This was her 9th hole of the day, Clatton. And this is one of those shots that you can say was perfect. They're never perfect unless they go in. That got her to 2 under par, and she would play the next 27 holes in 7 under par to finish at -9 for the week. Brooke Henderson not in the race to the CME. She is not a member of the LPGA Tour yet. Commanding lead at the Cambia Portland Classic. Today's coverage is brought to you by CME Group, how the world advances. And by the new Win Pro X putter grips. Feel the winning difference. Beautiful Sunday afternoon in Portland, Oregon for the Cambia Portland Classic. The LPGA has been here since 1972. This one of 4 golf courses that's hosted this event over the years. Back over to 14. Check it, 13.
This is Munoz for a birdie. And does it have enough? Yes, just about. Back into some good form ahead of the major championship, which comes up in, what, 4 weeks' time? Back at the 11th. Sandra Gar with her 2nd.
Just 84 yards. Good tee shot here, but this ball is going to have some spin on it, Tom. Severe uphill lie. First bounce will still be forward, even though it'll be coming down from the moon. And then it should spin after that. It's going to need to because the screen is so firm. Oh, yeah.
Ball at Morgan Pressel, about equidistant from the hole. Take a look at our pinpoint technology. At the 11th hole, there's 3 drives. Very similar spots. Separated by just 14 yards. And this hole was playing quite tricky early in the week. In fact, it played as one of the hardest holes in the early rounds, but today they're making mincemeat of it. Now, what can Henderson do?
It's a little surprising they're making mincemeat out of it. With that right tucked hole location, this is a little bit of a downhill lie. You know it's 80 yards, really has to spin it to get it close. And I have no doubt in my mind she's trying to go straight at it.
A little benefit if you can keep the ball underneath the hole.
That would take a really special shot here.
Wonderful shot. A bit unlucky that it hopped on by. Well, I think we all thought that Brooke Henderson may get the victory pretty soon, but I'm not so sure we expected her to run away with it and play like this. She now has an 8-shot lead over a very talented field, and it's just getting better and better. An incredible performance so far. 13th hole, Pornanong Patnam for birdie to get to 14 under and try and break out of that tie for 2nd. Just drifting away towards the water at the end. Saved 3 though at the par 3. And we'll go ahead to the other par 3 on the back 9, the 16th.
Austin Ernst, her 2nd.
Played that little pitch with a lofted club so she could land the ball on the putting surface and not on the fringe.
Stacy Lewis at the 18th to finish with a birdie. She had 3 birdies and 2 bogeys on the card today. Final round 71. We go back to 11.
It's really been an interesting week for Brooke Henderson. At one point in time, she probably would not have been here. She said she was really fortunate to learn that her sister, Brittany, got an exemption to play in the tournament, and she said she just didn't know if she would come out here and try to qualify because it was so far from home and so on. But when her sister received the exemption, she said she rethought the whole thing and thought, well, maybe I'll come out with my sister and I might as well try to Monday qualify. Well, that Monday turned into a 68. She and Doris Chen were qualifiers, and she hasn't stopped making birdies since, and she says it was a real blessing that my sister got that exemption.
And that was her sister there. Just saw her standing behind that lady. And Brooke's birdie putt misses out. Her father was also there watching. So her sister's given up playing the Moe. She played the par 3 course this morning, apparently quite quickly, and then popped out to watch Brooke, as Jerry was alluding to in our broadcast earlier.
Moe Martin has this for a birdie at the par 4 14th. That would have allowed her to climb into a tie for 5th. See if Ernst can save par at 16. Her 6th par of the day, and she's 5 under.
Now Morgan Pressel for a birdie at the 11th.
You got a great read from Brooke's putt, just going a little to the right. And that started right over line.
And that's the kind of stroke she's been trying to get rid of, and that's what a lot of players would call a wipe, where it puts a little spin on the ball from left to right.
Now to the 13th, Allison Lee.
The wind's picking up a little bit in the player's face. That was a 5-iron.
We've seen a few balls go in the water today, Nicole.
Yeah, there's only 3 over the carry, and that came up short. It was gusting right now, especially back by the tee.
Thankfully finding the bunker and not the water. Back over to the 11th and Sandra Gall.
Another great look here, Tom. But just seemingly not getting a whole lot to drop today.
Well, she's 1 over for this final round. She is the only player in the top 15 to be over par for the day. Brooke Henderson looks on. Not over par anymore. Back to even for the round.
Tonight, after a champion is crowned at Whistling Straits, live from the PGA Championship has the recap, commentary, and reactions. Don't miss Live from the PGA Championship tonight, 7 Eastern on Golf Channel. Hannah Zhang, her 3rd at the 12th. Even par for the day.
And lots of putts at 12, the par 5 from beyond the hole.
Now back over to the 11th. Brooke Henderson for the par.
Doesn't look like much to it, but going through her full routine. And her dad and her sister have already given it to her because they're down the 12th fairway. Dead center, right center, can't miss it, hit it solidly.
I'm sure they've been on the wrong end of these many times as Brooke has taken their money.
And you might have asked, why didn't Brooke Henderson get an exemption? Well, in fact, in her effort to play a lot and win enough money to get on the LPGA Tour, she was out of exemptions, so that would not have been possible.
Allison Lee coming out of the bunker at the 13th.
Pretty straightforward bunker shot. Gonna be happy with that one. Add that to the list of pars. Not many today.
Yeah, only the second of the back 9. Did start the day with 4 straight pars, but then went on a run of birdies, double bogeys and bogeys.
Not much trouble spotting Pornanong Patlam on the golf course. And you made the reference to her brother caddying for her. Typically, they would often wear matching outfits. They were unmistakable.
Yeah, and the nicknames for the two were Wan and Wow. Their home country, Thailand, and we've had a lot of fun with them, and they're really nice kids. Also, not a very big young woman and a very, very efficient golf swing.
Go back to 12, and Gall on the tee.
That's a low one, but very straight. Seems to have gotten that figured out pretty quickly, the low left shot.
Now Patlam is ready.
Hole very deep in the green. I'm sure the hole location was the question with the club.
Henderson at the tee at 12.
Another low screamer, little baby draw, left side, left center. Ideal.
Yeah, doubtful that a player can get home, but they certainly can get very close.
Yesterday she tried getting as close as possible.
There now, though.
Atha Munoz, 12 under. She is -3 today. Made a bogey at 2 and has 4 birdies on the card since.
And 13 under, sits right now tied for second.
Green, Hana Zhang for her birdie.
Fast and left to right.
Brooke Henderson Monday qualified for the event. If you include today's round, she has played this golf course 25 under par this week. Henderson 21 under par at the Cambia Portland Classic. Just by way of comparison, the record at this event, Suzanne Pedersen 2 years ago was 20 under when she won it. Can she maintain that pace? Back to 13.
Alison Lee for a par to remain at 12 under. Alison not going to win here, but every shot counts because she is trying to climb up those Rolex rankings and qualify for the Solheim Cup.
Just left side of the bunker.
Yeah, sort of, yeah, left half.
Par 5 and Gall's second.
Just choosing to drive herself to comfortable third shot yardage, 274 the hole. Job 1 done, get it into the fairway. Job 2 is trying to get it around that favorite number.
Selena Sharp at the 15th, her second shot You heard yesterday in her interview with Kay Cockrell the sort of mentorship that she's given to Brooke Henderson, and Brooke has also been helpful to Elena's game. Elena, even par today, has dropped back outside of the top 10. She's now tied for 16. Some issues for Austin Ernst at the 17th K.
As we've seen, Tom, all week, this hazard to the right has collected a lot of wayward tee shots from the right, and that's her third with a 50-degree. Not too good. It's been hot or cold for Austin today.
Back to 12.
And Henderson ready for her second.
Going with 3-wood, 251 to the front, little downhill line, if indeed this is 3-wood, and she's given me no reason to think it wouldn't be. Clearing that hill just in front of her is not a guarantee from a slight downhill line. She is trying to get it as close as possible. That was struck very solidly up the, I guess, dead center.
It sure sounded good.
It sounds a little different than a lot of players. It is solid.
Yeah, you try to put together what she's doing and put it into perspective. I'm not quite sure how you do that, but we're going to have to look back at some of the things that Lydia Ko's done in the last couple of years.
Pornanong Patlam's third at 14. Missing the green long on this very tight par 4.
Christy Kerr 1 under for the day. This for a birdie at the 50th. Just 2 birdies today for Christy. As you can see, a little frustrated. 13th tee, Hana Zhang.
Pretty good carry if you keep it tucked to the left side.
Well, that was an aggressive line from Hana, but she has been rewarded with a good chance for a 2.
Up there, like sort of 44's playing 50.
This was just a moment ago. Now Caroline Masson.
Looking swing. Looking shot. Needed just that little bit more.
Trying to make up for those 2 6s on the back 9. It's just going to drift away a little bit.
Once our championship Sunday concludes, tomorrow Faraday with Dave Stockton. His putting tips made him famous. His playing career sets him apart. All new Faraday tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Golf Channel. Brooke Henderson, 17 years, 11 months, and 6 days old, according to the LPGA's records. We're going to have to start calling up some of that Lydia Ko info, like Judy mentioned a second ago. 8-shot lead as she comes down the stretch, looking for her first LPGA Tour win. She turns 18 in September, just a couple of weeks away, trying to secure her spot on this tour for next year. Patlam for par at 14.
Elena Sharp for a birdie.
She's certainly been playing better, played some really good rounds, and next week will mean the world to her.
Also worth pointing out that if Henderson were to hang on and win, she would qualify for the CME Group Tour Championship. Any non-member who wins on the tour is gained entry into that season-ending event. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Gall with her third at 12.
Just 87 yards. Light breeze out of the left helping a bit. Just want to keep it below the hole if you can. That's going to fly plenty deep. It's a good shot, but you really want it on the other side.
Pressel is next.
Rock giving her 86 yards. I have 84. A little bit of an uphill lie. Probably feeling right now like she has to just force it close, because even though she made 18 birdies in rounds 2 and 3 combined, she's just not getting the putts to drop today. That needs a spin also.
Well, and it has been tough to make a putt from beyond the hole.
Pressel even par today. 2 birdies, 2 bogeys. And that is not keeping pace. Not with this group. Not with Henderson at 3 under. The leaderboard includes Ernst at 5 under today. Patlam is 4 under on her round today.
There's somebody, I guess numerous people have always made kind of fun remarks like, you know, the ball doesn't know your name, the ball doesn't know this, the ball doesn't know that, and clearly the ball doesn't know how old you are, because she is playing like somebody who's done this so many times in the past.
Just a 29-yard shot, a little bit of an uphill lie. Can pitch and run it short of the green if she wanted, or try and land it on. She's going to try and loft it on with a little spin.
These are the kind of shots that you think you might be affected if you feel a little bit of nerves.
No, she's got no nerves. Or what nerves she has are awfully strong. This is impressive. Just talked to her dad. He's starting to calm down a little bit. Looks very composed. He knows it's just a matter of an hour now, hour and a half.
Beautiful.
There's just no let up. She just keeps coming and coming. Knocking it close.
So we're making a big deal about winning for the first time and winning at this young age and what winning on the LPGA Tour is going to do for her overall. But another thing winning does for you is gives you the taste of winning.
Right.
And who knows what could happen, you know, the rest of this season, because she has contended so often.
Austin Ernst now, this at the 17th. This is actually for a bogey.
Yeah, Tom, this for a sandy bogey.
Oh, that is a good scramble.
And just by her reaction shows her intensity and grit.
It's going to drop her back to 12 under. Currently a tie for 4th. There will be a lot of players anxiously awaiting the Rolex rankings when they're issued on Monday morning.
Allison Lee with her second at 14.
She's got 139, slight breeze out of the right. This pin is all the way back.
Oh my goodness. Something went horribly wrong there. She landed on the downslope behind that green. It's going to be a real challenge for Lee. Now back at the par 5, Pressel a lot more than she wanted for birdie.
A lot more than she wanted in length, and definitely not the side of the hole. This one very speedy. Judy said, going to be tough to make a putt from here. 2-putt is not a given.
Jerry, it tends to pick up speed and then it quits breaking.
Yeah, and I don't see it stop breaking, but you can just tell by the color of the greens that they're a day away from not being called greens.
Zhang at the 13th for birdie. Lovely tee shot here. This will get her to 12 under. Good battle going on for second. And she knows that there are points on the line for the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year race. She's in contention, but needs to make a good move in that season-long race.
Sandra Gall coming off the birdie at the 11th, trying to claw her way back after making double at 8. Even par for the day. Still tied for fourth.
Just got a little bit of an idea that it doesn't go that much right at the end from Morgan's putt. She's playing for, I mean, obviously starting the day, she hoped to have a chance to win this. That seems out of the cards now. 9 shots back, but also to solidify her place on that Solheim Cup team with only 1 week remaining after this to do so. Playing in her home country, of course.
Well, as short putts go, though, this is a tricky one. This is not just, you know, keep your head still and roll it in.
No, and she has really played expeditiously today. This is a lot more time than she has taken earlier. But they also know, having just seen the group in front of them tee off on the par 3 13th, that they're not in any hurry right now. They're in position. Try and get it right. Convince yourself that you have it right, and just hit a good putt. Nothing more you can do once that ball leaves the putter.
There have been 2 players to win on the LPGA Tour before the age of 18. Lydia Ko and Lexi Thompson. Lydia Ko did it a number of times. 6, as a matter of fact, before she turned 18. Not all of those as a member of the LPGA Tour, of course. Lexi winning in 2011. She was just over 16 years old. This 17-year-old is now 22 under par.
Back at the 13th tee, Brooke Henderson with a 9-shot lead here at the Cambia Portland Classic. The largest ever lead or win on the LPGA Tour was 14 shots. That was back in 1986. And that was Cindy Mackey in Westchester County, the Knollwood Country Club. This is an incredible performance. Absolutely incredible. Take a look at the 13th hole with the pinpoint technology. And Judy, today it's a tricky hole because the flag is back left.
Yeah, from this golf zone picture, you can just see that the hole is located over the bunker, and on the left side of the green, it is just past what is a little soft shelf in the green. So you need to carry the ball far enough. And in Brooke's case right now, I think I would hit it at the right edge of our camera tower and hope that it comes down right there. She no longer needs to flirt with anything that could be damaging.
Largest margin of victory, 14 shots. There you go, at the 1986 MasterCard International Pro-Am. Brooke leads by 9.
That was her first mistake that I've seen today. Well, right, mishit.
Jerry, she went with a little hybrid, and I know it was because that breeze is in her face and so on, but I think she was really trying to cut it off and just almost didn't make a swing.
She had the 5-iron out as well, but put it away.
Moe Martin for birdie at 16.
Not a lot of birdies made at that par 3.
It's her 3rd birdie of the day. No bogeys on the card for Moe Martin. She is at -12. That's good for a tie for 5th.
Sandra Gall now on the tee at the 13th.
Seems a little perplexed right now, too, with that breeze picking up.
the shot?
Yeah.
See the shot?
I'll just drop it.
All right. Keep
Yep.
fine.
Cool.
Commit to it.
Longest iron in her bag is a 5-iron. That would be plenty of club, in my opinion, for Sandra.
So
What do
just
you
a
think?
hair left over, yeah?
That is perfect.
I think we're slightly more wary of this than maybe a player who comes here because we've seen some problems today.
That started left and stayed there. Oh, no, it didn't. It came back a little bit. Oof.
This was a moment ago at the 14th, Allison Lee's 4th.
She was dead with her third shot and just hit it to there. Great bunker shot, especially from that long a distance. She'll go on to make that from 5.
She is scrambling, Allison Lee. Back to 13.
And Morgan Pressel.
Coming off bogey, she missed that short par put on the previous. This is a 7-iron. Little right of the hole and drawing in nicely.
Great shot. Not able to get the ball to stop, but a good tee shot. Got to feel like she's playing for second now, though. Has been for some time. Just a moment ago at the 15th hole, Pornong Patlam for a birdie. A real battle for second place, trying to break out of that tie. And she's tied with Munoz just for birdie. She's tied because that went in. So the Spaniard and the player from Thailand at 13 under par, a long way behind the Canadian, Brooke Henderson.
Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour making this tour's only stop of the year in the great state of Oregon. The Cambia Portland Classic, one of the backbone events of this tour. 44th playing, and maybe some history in the making as we go to 13.
Brooke Henderson now with her second.
Has to loft it to the top level and then hope it slows down a little.
Well, she hasn't had a bogey today, but has that one left for a par.
Hannah Zhang at 14 for birdie.
That'll leave you talking to yourself.
She is 1 under on her round today. We go back up to the 18th. Austin Ernst, 4 under on her round today, coming off the bogey at 17. Just to save par at 18. She found the back bunker with her second. That's a big putt. That keeps Ernst in the top 5 with a round of 68.
And doing everything she can to impress Captain Julie Inkster. She is right on that outside part of the bubble where there is some consideration, but she hasn't completely proven herself.
Ernst is the defending champion here, as we mentioned, so finding this golf course to her liking once again. Suzann Pettersson, 20 under par at this event back in 2013. Keep that number in mind. She's a 2-time champion here, also won it back in 2011.
Morgan Pressel for a birdie at 13th.
Another very speedy one.
Been been texting with Annika Sorenstam, talking about Brooke Henderson and what she's been doing. Annika saying she's just so impressed with Brooke's maturity. I mean, she's playing like she's been out here for a long time, but she's only 17, not even a member of the tour. And Annika saying she doesn't really have many weaknesses in her game, and being able to drive the ball pretty long and straight. Good to see her on the verge of breaking through. It'd be hard to believe Brooke isn't going to win, but it's incredible what she's doing.
It is, and it's going to be interesting to see how this career moves forward, because she's very much a natural player, and she very much is doing a few things that a kid does. She's got big golf clubs and grips down on them. Her golf swing sort of suits that, and you know, it could be more refined, but I'm not sure it could be a lot better than it is.
This for a par. At what point, Judy, did you just struggle to concentrate because you know you're going to win?
Well, I think she's all right now, and I think she's got herself in a zone of concentration. But she is very soon to just start notching off holes and paying some attention to the only ways she could get in trouble. You know, I mean, 17 off the tee. That's one of the only ways coming in now she could get in big trouble.
Hana Zhang at 14, able to save her par. Back to 13.
Brooke has a putt coming up for a bogey, but Sandra Gall's come out of the bunker to here, has this for a par.
Yeah, was short-sighted, played a very nice bunker shot to here. Still on the uphill side of the hole. Got to be delicate.
Sandra Gall, one of those players battling for second place. A really good battle, actually, for that second place finish. There you go. Very tight. Not too tight at the top. Brooke Henderson 22 under par. She's going to drop back to 21 under most likely, but still a very comfortable lead here in Portland.
To the tee at the 14th, and Gall even on the day.
That one's instantly left with a fairway wood, and that's going to be completely blocked out.
I can tell you that Henderson made the bogey putt, so she is at 21 under. Gall has been fighting the lefts on Sunday. Munoz to save par at 16.
She, like her other two fellow competitors in the group, all hit it over this par 3. There's not much green behind the hole, and disappointing. I believe that's her second bogey on the round today.
Pressel, tee at 14.
One started off right with a little draw.
Well, that was a good-looking swing. She sometimes can get a little quick and really kind of put too much energy in the change of directions at the top of her swing, but that was smooth and really good-looking. Ooh, driver, Jerry.
That's so much for coasting home.
Yeah.
It's the only way she knows how to play. It's when she looks like she wants to win by a dozen. She is not going to let up. It's so reminiscent of course, Tiger Woods winning the Masters by 12 back in '97, when he didn't celebrate, didn't even think about the win until he made that final putt for par. That's pelted up the left center.
Well, her dad has taught her. The Canadian team coach, Tristan Malali, has had something to do with bringing Brooke along. But dad has taught both Brittany and Brooke. And according to what Brooke says, he pretty much quit playing himself and just invested all of his time in their games.
Pornanong Patlam saving par at 16, she hopes.
He had a beautiful little flop shot to this point, and that's a nifty 3.
Patlam at 13 under. There are 2 players on that number, tied for second, and they are 8 shots off the lead.
Back at the 17th tee with Pornanong Patlam.
This is such a tricky hole. In fact, these last 3 holes, if you can play them in even par, you practically gain on the field. Pornanong known for her accuracy off the tee.
Because obviously we've got stuff in front of us, but that's fine with me. Because you're going to be locked in it anyway. Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
This is Gall left at 14.
Just trying to find a way through these trees to get it back to the fairway, hitting it. Well, I think I know the only way Brooke couldn't win this is if this golf ball hits her, because she's aiming pretty much straight at her standing in the fairway. Well done there.
There you see, able to escape underneath the trees. Meanwhile, her playing competitor Morgan Pressel in a very good position in this fairway.
Little slight downhill lie, 119 yards, or excuse me, 145 yards. 9-iron. Started well, right? She's not happy with it, drawn a little.
So-Yeon Yu at the 18th, finishing up her round here in Portland. This for birdie. Just 1 under on her round today. She had it to -10 after 3 holes today. A couple of bogeys on the way in, able to get one back at 18. She's currently tied for 14th. And that's where we go for Gall's 3rd.
Yeah, I would like to play a little bit more on the technical side. Yep, maybe just stay here on the right of it. Pull that ball below your feet already.
It's going to go shorter than the usual 20 shot, yeah? That's okay?
Well, yeah. I mean, being a little bit short and on the right side of this pin is probably ideal.
Severe side. Severe side hill lie for Sandra. 122 yards I have to the hole. Oftentimes a player pulls these, and she's been hitting a lot of shots left already. Not that one. Started off right at it. Little baby fade.
Shot.
It is a very testy hole location, and I think Brooke would be wise to just stay 20 feet short of this hole.
Well, she might have her hand forced here because of the tree in front of her, but she hits it over that first lower limb. She can go straight at it, 119 yards. I just asked her dad, why in the world, I need a quote here, why did your daughter hit driver off this tee with an 8-shot lead? He said, here's your quote, welcome to Brookville. That's Brooke's world. It's a little right of the hole and drawing right at it.
What did I say? 20 feet short? I didn't mean that.
Just stop it.
You know what the quote tells me? It's a great relationship between father and daughter. He doesn't tell her how she has to do it. He's let her find her own way.
th green, Hannah Zhang for a birdie. That moves her to 13 under par, 2 under for the day, but tied for second now, along with Candy Kung and Pornalong Patnam.
Up at 14. After the bunker shot, Morgan Pressel has a par putt upcoming.
It was a very good bunker shot to leave it below the hole here from a horrible angle.
I'm not sure that that's the stroke she was trying to get away from. It just looks like a pure push. For Brooke Henderson right now, it's all going just a little bit in slow motion. She would just be anxious enough to just want to keep hitting it and keep playing and keep getting closer to that 18th hole.
And I think she learned a lesson in swinging skirts where she did get a little out of her routine, especially when they got put on the clock and rushed it a bit. And she is in no hurry now.
A moment ago, you saw Sister Brittany and her father watching, keeping a respectful distance, I noticed, not getting too close.
Dad is a 31-year retired school teacher, and Brooke and Brittany's mom has worked with mentally disabled children for a very long time and is soon to retire.
Costly error off the tee for Sandra Gall, as she will drop another one. Now Henderson, after making her only bogey of the day at 13. Let's see what she can do to bounce back.
Jerry, does she put any stock into what Sandra's putt did?
Perhaps this is much slower up the slope, so maybe going a little right. Sanders didn't do a whole lot except dive slightly left. Not enough stock.
Let's join Jerry Foltz.
While Sandra Gall is cleaning up on the previous hole, her little tap in, I'm going to start with you, Dave. What's going through your mind right now? What are your emotions?
Oh, we're very happy and proud of Darlene and I of both girls, Brittany and Brooke, and Brooke's just having a fabulous, 21, 22 under, setting course records. Come on, it's great for golf. It's great for Brooke. We're very proud.
She stated that perhaps not getting the age waiver late last year might be the best thing that ever happened to her. I don't imagine today catches you as much of a surprise knowing your daughter and the champion that she is about to become.
Yeah, like we're overwhelmed, and we're hoping the LPGA gives us that exemption in now after the win. We are going to petition them right after the round. I mean, we don't want to talk too early. We've still 4 or 5 holes to go, but we're moving forward, and things are looking pretty good.
I think we all assume that's a formality. Brittany, you guys are as close can be, and she credits you for the reason she's even here this week, that you got an exemption, made her think about coming to qualify. How excited are you for what your sister's done this week?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I was trying not to get too excited just yet, but still a couple holes to go, but hopefully it turns out well.
Did you go practice on the par 3 to keep your mind off, or to get a little work in for next week?
Kind of both, I guess. Yeah, got some practice in this morning and decided I better come out for the back 9.
An exciting time for the entire Henderson family. Thanks, you guys, for chatting with us.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks.
It's very nice. I thought it was sort of the epitome of the way that they go about their business when Dad didn't want to, you know, single out Brooke too much there. He said, well, we bring up both girls very well. You know, both are very talented, but at the moment, Brooke is the one very much in the spotlight on the tee here at the 15th hole.
It's a pretty cool sister act.
Well, she's not hitting driver, Judy. And that is, I mean, right center, just ideal.
She's been a good player for a long time. At the age of 14 years, 9 months and 3 days, she won on the Canadian Tour, believed to be the youngest winner of an official event on any tour anywhere in the world. And of course, she's built on that. But even before she was 14, she used to like to get out to play. How about this when she was 10? And the swing, Judy, well, it's not too dissimilar, I wouldn't think.
Well, she's still got a long golf club there, and she still was swinging it very long and going after the ball very aggressively. Beautiful follow-through. That's the part of these little sequence pictures I really like. The follow-through just said, boy, I am watching the flight of my ball in the air, and it looks good.
And here's the swing now. A swing which has taken her to 21 under par here in Portland.
Final round of the Cambia Portland Classic on the LPGA Tour. Brooke Henderson has been the story. 17-year-old up to the challenge presented by Prudential. This was for birdie at the 7th. Made 4 straight pars to begin her day, made birdie at 5, then that birdie at the 7th, and then this at 9, the long par 4. Three birdies, no bogeys on the card on the way out. Makes the turn, this the par 5 12th, her 3rd shot. She would make birdie there, dropping a shot at 13, but coming back with a par at 14. We head out to 15.
Yeah, Morgan Pressel will be first to play.
Her second shot from 139 yards. Posing on this one, likes it a little better than the previous ones. Boy, that turned over quickly.
Yeah, not posing anymore. And there you go, frustrated. Thought it was going to catch that left side of the green, but ends up turning over into the bunker. Taking a look at pinpoint technology here at the 15th hole, and all 3 players hugging that right side, but short shots in, the shortest of which 116 yards for Sandra Gall.
But all with layups off the tee.
Now Brooke.
127, and I'm sure taking dead aim.
You heard her father talk about petitioning the tour. Because Brooke is under the age of 18, she would need to petition the tour in order to become a member. That's the rule if you're under the age of 18.
Pulled this a little left. That's not going to be terrible at all.
She did petition the commissioner to go to the qualifying school at the end of last year, which she needed to do, being under the age of 18. Mike Wan decided to deny that petition, which is why She's been playing on sponsor invites and having to Monday qualify, but as we mentioned, it's given her extra motivation, and it's all worked out rather well in the end.
Well, the primary criteria through Mike Wong's decisions with those petitions in the past has been a win. She petitioned for membership on the Symetra Tour after a win and got that instantly approved overnight. Sandra Gall's second shot, just 116 yards. So you would think, Tom, that the same formality would be in place after today.
Yeah, there's a precedent that has been set, isn't there? So it's happened with other players when they've won under the age of 18. I would be astonished if Mike Wong didn't approve the petition. There's no reason for him not to. Brooke Henderson commanding in Portland. Brooke Henderson at the 15th hole here in the final round of the Cambia Portland Classic, where she has an 8-shot lead, trying to win for the very first time.
Well, Brooke's got just a delicate little third shot here from the primary cut of fringe and going with the putter, which I think is the only club from here because it's such sticky grass. All she has to do is get it started on the other cut of fringe, and it will release all the way downhill to the hole. I think Sandra Gall will be first to play.
Just to revisit the whole petitioning and becoming a member situation, let's say that Brooke wins, which is very likely. She will have a decision to make should the LPGA accept that petition, which they will, whether she takes the membership right away and plays the rest of the year, or whether she defers it until next year so that she can give the Rookie of the Year a good going, as we watch Sandra Gall. And speaking to her agent Kevin Hopkins there during the break via text, and he said, well, they're going to discuss this all once everything's said and done today, and that's one of the things on the agenda that he will discuss with Brooke, and assuming her father as well. It'd be nice to see her win the Rookie of the Year next year, or give it a good go. It's going to be tough this year, considering, you know, Se Young Kim has a couple of wins.
Yeah, we've seen this in the last few years where, you know, a non-member has won and has deferred that membership just for that Rookie of the Year race. It might not seem like an important thing, but it is an important thing to a lot of players out here to be in that race, and particularly if they think they have a chance to win it.
Well, that wasn't her best effort there, Jerry.
It was a tricky shot, and she was just trying to make sure nothing crazy happened there and trying to chip that ball with the sticky grass. It's a lot of mistakes could be made.
I think she can afford to make a mistake in every hole and still win. Don't want to see that, though. I want to see her win in style.
Well, you know, we talk about all the scoring records and all those things and that. I can 100% assure you at home that players don't think about scoring records. They don't think about those things at all. They're really pleased if they finish and they find out they accomplished something. But it has nothing to do with the way they play.
Now Morgan Pressel for a par.
Had very little from that left greenside bunker. Played it nicely just to have this chance. And still just cannot buy a putt.
Yeah, very good putter, just having an off day.
I'm not in any way saying that she did anything wrong there, but I just hate it when players just tap down things by the hole. It always makes you a little anxious.
Makes you jump?
Yeah, it always makes me jump. Now, Brooke Henderson for a par. Okie dokie. I feel a little sorry for Brooke because she's going to be overshadowed by what has happened in the PGA this week, and she deserves more than that. This has been a fantastic performance, but she's not going to get too much coverage.
Really a good point, Tom, because Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, those players, they garner so much attention, and it is such a great championship. But this is really an accomplishment.
Sandoval is going to finish this one off.
It's going to be a big week next week on the LPGA Tour. Lydia Ko battling the LPGA's best for another shot at victory, a two-time champion at the Canadian Pacific Women's Open. It starts Thursday at 6 Eastern on Golf Channel. Imagine the hype surrounding the Hendersons next week as they head to Vancouver. What a story that will be.
Well, Brooke has been a star for a long, long time in Canada. I can remember back when Morgan Pressel was the 12-year-old kid, the star. So they do resemble each other a little bit. It's a little uncanny.
When Brooke turned professional in December of 2014, the Ottawa Senators of the NHL helped make a video in which she and the Sens starting goalie announced her turning pro together. She herself a former goalie. She has been, as Judy points out, well known for a long time.
Brooke going with 5-iron here, and this group was just informed walking to the tee that they are now officially on the clock. They fell well out of position in just a 3-hole stretch.
Jerry, still a firm green. Balls are going over all day long.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was a little concerned about the 5-iron, but she actually worked it back into the right to left wind a bit. Should have landed a little softer.
Hole high and gorgeous.
Showing some shot making right in there with a young lady who almost always hits the draw.
Moment ago at the 18th, this was Afa Munoz for a birdie.
Hit a pretty nice 7-iron into this point width. Still always tough to make birdie on this 18th.
Not giving up very many. 3 under, 69 today for Munoz as she would tap in. And now we are live at 18. This is Pornanong Patlam.
Portland came up just short in the first cut of rough and has shown a really smart short game these last few holes. Up and down for par in the last 3 holes.
Remaining at 13 under par and a tie for second with Hana Zhang and Candy Kung. It's not how, it's how many at this point. Brooke Henderson with just a couple of holes to play at 21 under par.
Back in the final round of the Cambia Portland Classic, where Brooke Henderson has an 8-shot lead. It's been a very fine performance from the 17-year-old, who will turn 18 on the 10th of September during the Evian Championship, which she has qualified to play through her position in the world rankings.
And that position's going to move up, Tom.
It's going to be Gall first.
Yeah, badly mishit tee shot down here with a horrible angle, and green sloping away once it lands on it. She almost has to land it. The further the better, because if she lands it on the fringe, it'll ricochet all the way across the green. This one might have some elevation.
She'll have that to save par. We go up 1 to 17.
Hannah Zhang for a birdie. And Jerry was talking about the final group being out of position. This is the group in front. They are up on the 17th, so there's about a hole between the two groups.
Now Pressel at 16.
In that sticky grass, but get a little more club head speed on this one than Brooke would have had on the previous hole. It also plays a little uphill to the hole. Wow, that continues to run on.
Henderson asking Sandra Gall to move her mark.
She's got a good idea of the speed and the line, but mostly the speed from Morgan's chip shot. Faster than I would have thought. What's amazing is how good a touch that Brooke has. It's a quick stroke. It mirrors the tempo of her full swing like so many players.
Stress-free, and she remains 21 under par. 8-shot advantage with 2 holes to play for Brooke Henderson.
Yeah, at this point you're just notching them off. 3 more, 2 more, 1 more.
Largest margin of victory this year, 5 shots. That was at the KPMG Women's PGA in B Park over Se Young Kim. Gall has this to save par.
She's had a lot of putts of this length. Some for birdie, way too many for par.
When Lexi won at Navistar in 2011, she was 16 years, 7 months, 8 days old. She won that event by 5. Lydia Ko also winning as a teenager by 5 strokes at the Canadian Women's Open 2 years ago. Pressel now.
Today really hasn't indicated how Morgan has played this year, because she has played very well. She is well over the $800,000 mark on the LPGA Tour, and that is without a win.
Hold still back there, please.
Pressel +3 on her round today. If Gall can drop this, she is +2 on her round today.
Take a look at the 17th hole as those players make their way to the tee at 17. It's a tricky, can be a very tricky hole, Judy.
Yeah, it's a very slight dogleg to the right. You try to get the ball on the flat on the upper shelf and play to this green that sits diagonally to you at 17. hole location tucked to the left side today on the lower section of this green. A good tee shot should give you a chance to get a birdie opportunity here. A poor tee shot, this hole can get away from you. This is the kind of hole where you can actually make 6 if you don't drive the ball well.
Third hardest fairway to hit on the golf course is the 17th. She would become the 3rd player to win before the age of 18. Should Brooke Henderson go on to win, which is very likely to do. Lexi Thompson, Lydia Ko, the other 2 players who have won under the age of 18. Right, so Brooke is not going to use the driver here, which is to be expected, Jerry.
Well, that lets us know that she is fully aware of the situation. And I think earlier in the round, when she kept using driver and kept trying to hit at 10 and again at 12, trying to get as close to the green as she could, she was just trying to extend that lead. She didn't want anything possible to slip away from her.
Ideal.
Look across the pond at the 18th.
She has almost the entire width of the screen to putt across for birdie. Highly unlikely that she's going to make this because this has quite a bit of right to left break, and it's a good 50-footer, but it will be a putt to get to 12 under par.
Yeah, 1 under par for the day.
Oh, what a beautiful putt. Judy, she'd be a hard one to ignore on that Solheim Cup team, wouldn't she?
Well, she is, and we keep repeating it's a 2-year process, and Allison Lee has had 1 season, and not even an entire season to try to make that team, and she has, she's certainly impressed the captain and her assistants.
She's played on 3 junior Solheim Cup teams and a Curtis Cup.
Yeah, she said she felt like if she could play, it would be like things coming full circle when you start on the junior Solheim Cups. And, you know, she also is a player who says she really loves match play. And you need people who like match play in those matches.
Lee is en route to her 4th top 10 finish this year. This is J. Marie Green. She has a chance for birdie from the back of the 18th.
Beautiful round for J. Marie yesterday, and she did it all in the latter part of her round. Finished on the front 9.
I kidded her this morning and I said, you snuck up on me, you know, shooting 63 and finishing on the wrong side, on the other side. And she said, for some reason, I always seem to be on the other side. I get out of bed on the other side. So she has quite a sense of humor. She's really a cute gal to get to know.
And a good week for her, Judy. That's her first top 10 finish of the year. Previous best tie for 11th in the Bahamas. J. Marie Green tied for 8th right now. Her brother with her on the bag. 21-year-old enjoying her time in Portland. The 17-year-old Brooke Henderson coming down the stretch towards history at the Cambia Portland Classic.
Brooke Henderson in the fairway at the 17th. 60 yards to go, 7-iron in hand, always gripping down.
And right at it.
Well, he may as well finish it off in style. 4th hardest hole on the golf course, but not for Brooke Henderson, who has a great chance for a birdie to get back to 22 under par. Now Sandra Gall.
Problems continue, 159 yards, and just has hit a low screamer here out of the deep rough. Never easy.
Sandra having to work hard to avoid another bogey. She's had 2 in the last 3 holes. Morgan Pressel not in a great spot either.
No, but it could have been a lot worse. A lot of roots around the ball, but none apparently are going to be a factor. In a clean hard pan lie, you can make the ball do anything. Just a low draw is what she's going to try to do from 143. Try and chase it up there as well.
Well, hopefully Brooke can enjoy the walk up 17 and 18. You would think that she knows by now. She says she's going to look at the leaderboards throughout this final round, so good indication that she knows exactly where she stands and that she has an 8-shot lead and she can afford to make a few mistakes. Not that she's going to.
I think she's going to wait for 18 for the enjoyment, Tom. What a performance. Whoever the golfer was, at whatever age, what a performance this has been. And this kid has so many people rooting for her. I would suggest there are players rooting for her. She's very popular.
She has a great sense of maturity, and I think we see that in her interviews. She's managed by IMG, and they always do a very good job of making sure their players are media trained, but I don't think that Brooke needs much media training. I think she can do it all on her own, and she handles herself extremely well.
As they wait, we go to the 18th, Caroline Masson, ready for her second. Four over on her round today.
A lot at stake for Caroline Masson. She is trying so hard to play on the Solheim Cup team for Europe in her home country of Germany, and you can see the stress.
Yeah, shot 64 on Friday and thought she'd have a really good chance this weekend, but it's been a rough Sunday. 5 bogeys on her back 9 today.
Pressel now for a birdie at 17.
Yeah, outside chance at that. Sometimes you're unsure which way they're going to break. This one's breaking left. About 10 feet.
While we wait, shot of the day presented by Volvic. We go back to the 9th. Henderson had made 4 straight pars to start her day, made a birdie at 7, adds this one at 9 to go out in 3 under. That 5-shot lead to start the day just kept growing. No one really mounted a charge. She had 1 stumble, a bogey at 13, pars at 14, 15, and 16. Easy for us to say never in doubt. We're not inside her head, but a stirring performance here on Sunday.
Well, she's got a few fans out there. We'll see plenty of that next week. That's Elena Sharp, fellow Canadian tour player. Okay, let's see if Brooke can roll this one and get back to 22 under.
No, I wouldn't bet against her at this point. It's slippery, though, turning right.
Slow down.
Yes. Trying to finish it off in style. Brooke Henderson moves to 22 under par, cruising to victory. 1 to play here at the Cambia Portland Classic. This has been a fine, fine performance from the 17-year-old. 9 shots clear of the rest of the field. She stood on the first tee on Thursday and said, "I'll give the field 9 shots." They might have laughed at her. Not now.
I feared it was picking up speed, but wouldn't have mattered. It was right in the center.
Elena Sharp cheering on her fellow countrywoman. Elena shot 71 today, finished tied for 10th, so a good week for Elena Sharp.
They could possibly be the Canadian team for the Olympics. Brooke and Elena Sharp.
12 months away from Rio, golf's return to the Olympics. Now, Morgan Pressel.
A little side note, Tom, it's a Canadian who won the last time golf was in the Olympics.
Now that is some good knowledge, Jerry.
I think I remember it, 36 or something.
You were 36 at the time.
1904. And I know his first name, but I don't know his last name. He was George.
We're looking it up. We're looking it up.
And it was played in the town where I learned to play golf, which is St. Louis.
It was George Leon. No relation to Taylor Leon. 18th hole. And pinpoint technology with
270 to cover the bunker on the right. Water not really coming into play this week, Tom, at 18. They're left, unless you miss your tee shot left, in which case, maybe. Up at the green. This is Masson playing with Hana Zhang and Candy Kung.
Patlam is got that 13 under posted in the clubhouse, and Candy and Hana would, one or the other or both would have to birdie 18 to better that.
Brooke on the tee.
With driver, why not? Headed at the bunker.
Just did roll in.
Maybe she can really get her money's worth on 18, you know, either play a spectacular shot or play one extra.
Up at the green, Hana Zhang has this long birdie bid from just off the fringe back right, Kay.
Which she hit a good drive, and like we often see on this hole, and with the wind blowing left to right, it's easy to bail up the right side of the green, and it released all the way to the back. So she has a challenging putt, needless to say, down the hill. She's on the higher part of the green, putting down to the low part. I love watching this young player play. She's got a lot of energy, positive energy. She's very optimistic and very engaging.
Yeah, she makes everybody she crosses paths with smile.
Little fooled on that one.
Henderson with a commanding lead now, 9 shots. Final hole at the Cambia Portland Classic. Back at the 18th, Hana Zhang to save her par at the last.
This would be a heck of a 2-putt from the fringe.
Final round of 70, and that keeps her in a tie for second. 3 players at 13 under. Candy Kung, Hana Zhang, and Pornanong Patlam. This is Henderson's lie in the bunker right. waiting for the green to clear here. Masson, this is a par save attempt here out of that right bunker. Got it all the way to here.
Yeah, all in all, it was a pretty decent shot. All those long bunker shots are always tricky. But looking at this good 8.5 footer.
Well, Jerry, what do you think of this play?
Surprising. I thought she was going to try and hit a really special shot to the right side of the green, but no reason to. But no reason not to. She's such a conservative player.
Yeah. Said no one ever. Now Masson for a bogey. Not the day she wanted. She had it to 14 under at one point today, but gave back the farm on the back nine here. Now the stage clears at the 18th for the final group. And it'll be Gall in the center of the fairway.
Decent tee shot here, 145 yards remaining. Breeze in from the left. Coming off another bogey at 17. That needs to go.
Well, she just really lost her timing as the day wore on, and I watched her practice this morning, and she couldn't hit the ball better. So maybe sometimes just the wind goes out of your sails.
Now Morgan Pressel with her second.
Pitching wedge, 127 yards. And even turning that one over too far.
Now the people at the corner are cheering because she is going to be so close to them, and they're going to get to watch that shot. That's something I've learned as an on-course commentator. They love it when the ball is just right by them.
And that's why it was so popular.
So Henderson finds the fairway bunker off the tee, decides to lay up. Now her third.
Just inside 120 yards.
Well, here's my final description. She is gentle, smart, sweet, and tough. And you've got to be tough to do what she's done this year and to do so well what she's done today. We're going to love watching this girl grow up.
Ranked 32nd in the Rolex rankings. That will improve. Her first win on the LPGA Tour. Caddy Bunk, longtime family friend. Their father, Dave, very often caddies for one or the other of the girls, and Brittany often caddies for Brooke. It's truly a family affair. Meanwhile, back in the fairway. There's Dad.
That's great. Yep.
Finally can relax.
Good show.
Sandra Gall has decided to take her drop back in the fairway, so Henderson will have to wait a little bit longer.
Took it back, well back, advisedly, to try and put some spin on it and get it close. See if she can salvage bogey. That's going to fly a little deep.
She and Brittany are 6 years apart, but when you see them together, they look like they could be twins. 17 and 23 years old, respectively.
They spent time together in Florida, sort of making a winter home in Florida where they could both practice and play, and that 6-year difference makes that work out just fine.
A little bit. Got Pressel's third.
Good job, Morgan. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Nice shot.
Nice support from the gallery there at 18 from Morgan Pressel. She had a rough time coming in, did not make a birdie on her last 9. 3 bogeys, but still in the top 10, and still been a very good year for Pressel.
All right, now I need the tripod. Where is it?
A reminder that as soon as our coverage wraps up, live from the PGA Championship. What a weekend it's been for the game of golf between Brooke Henderson and Jason Day at Whistling Straits. The future of the game is in very good hands. Here is Gall trying to save something here at 18.
It's her 5th shot, and very speedy down the hill. That's just been an all-around disappointing day and a hugely disappointing finish.
Yeah.
I don't want to say you're affected by what Brooke Henderson did today when you're playing with her, but the truth is, if you're not playing so well, you almost feel like you're holding up the parade. You lose your concentration in a way that's difficult to describe.
She is going to go ahead and finish and give the stage to Henderson. I wouldn't bet against this going in.
Well, it's not a real good time to think. You're on automatic pilot.
Get in the hall. Get in the hall.
The kids are all right. Brooke Henderson becomes the third player in LPGA Tour history to win before the age of 18.
Good job. Good job. Cute.
Let's go down to 18 and Jerry Foltz.
Well, she's getting the hugs from her fellow competitors. Brooke, it seemed like you had the mindset today to stay aggressive from the get-go. At what point did you finally start to enjoy it?
I was just trying to play my game the whole way through, and I think the last couple of holes I started to think, threw it off the tee on 17. I probably wouldn't have done that on a regular day, but I figured just hit it straight down the fairway and hit it on, and ended up making birdie, which was even better. And down 18, again, I probably would have went for that in that bunker shot there, but just chipped out and tried to do the right thing. But this is unbelievable. I'm so excited.
You should be excited. This is a huge moment, the first of many. What did you learn from the disappointments earlier this year that helped you today?
I think my attitude into today was a lot better than it was a couple months ago, and I was just trying to keep going low and trying to push it to get even further under par, which I wouldn't have had that a couple months ago.
Next week you get to go home and play in a huge event for you where there was going to be a lot of pressure on you. Are you expecting it to be a little bit of a celebration as well?
I am, yeah, for sure. It'll be awesome to be back with the Canadian support, and that was my first LPGA Tour tournament 3 years ago, so it'll be nice where there's lots of great memories.
All right, go sign the card, make it official. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Henderson finishing at 21 under par. That is a record relative to par at this Cambia Portland Classic. A commanding victory start to finish here on Sunday, and maybe, Judy Rankin, the dawn of a new era.
I think we have been seeing for the last couple of years certainly a little generational change, and all the young players are great to watch.
Henderson not yet an LPGA Tour member officially, but as a non-member who wins, she will be invited to the CME Group Tour Championship at the end of the season. She has secured her spot. LPGA Tour moving on, as you heard Jerry mention, to the Canadian Pacific Women's Open next week. For Judy Rankin, Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, Kay Cockrell, producer Beth Hutter, director John Del Vecchio, and our entire crew, I'm Whit Watson. Congratulations to the 17-year-old in Portland.